So, good night, everyone. Good night, Kiora. Welcome to the last episode of the podcast covering Titans League. How are you doing tonight?
Doing all right. Unfortunately, someone else had dropped out, but looking forward to being here tonight.
Nice, nice. You definitely. I wanted to say I had high hopes for this week, but since it's the end of the split, I guess there's a lot of people that wants to do summer stuff, wants to enjoy summer. So it is what it is. But anyways, I'm just glad to have what do we have. Um, that was actually pretty nice. And I want to, just finish off with a very good last episode before we take a break for summer. So, with that being said, today we're gonna cover the finals between Conduit Esports Fever and Dynasty Obsidian. Um, since we have our one of the finalists here, Kiora, before we jump into the games, can you give us a little bit of what were the inside expectations going to the final? How you guys were feeling? Um, you know, what were the general thoughts about the team, about everyone? Give us your perspective, if you want, of course.
Oh yeah, I will. So I had expected the Dino versus Fever matchup after the brackets had formed early on. I thought it was going to be a really close match, and I think games one and two were a little bit of a spoiler. We did end up losing in three, but we knew they were a tough team. It just sucks how it played out.
Yeah, I feel you. Losing is never good. We actually lost the last final, so it was quite, it had a really bad taste in our mouth, losing last split as well. So I do understand and what do you guys felt, but I want to bring up. I'm gonna bring the clips for tonight, and I wanna we can talk a little bit more about the games as it went and everything. So let me see if I have the right
Right,
ones.
let's see what picks you clipped in order to flame us, right?
Nah, no flaming man, no flaming. Cool. So game one, and I believe this is indeed the draft for game
Yeah, that looks right. We did not expect this Iron pick, and Iron is a menace.
one. Oh yeah, dude. Ivan is nuts. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, we knew he was strong. We just didn't think Sweeper would pick him, and we definitely got punished game one for it.
I'm still impressed with Giant Spy. Well, on the Victor, he is a menace on the champion. He did a lot of work this game one. Um, and actually, I felt like the game one was probably um the best game out of the three in terms like was really competitive back and forth. I didn't feel like there were like a lot of mistakes. Mid like early to mid game, it was like very even, and I think overall you guys did a very good game. Um, there wasn't anyone like that was doing poorly at least on game one. Um, so yeah, I did have like a good feeling because actually this game I watched live. I think it was the only game that I watched it live. It was actually pretty wholesome to watch it.
Yeah, this was definitely a really close game. It came down to a couple late game mistakes on Fever's part. Well, I know two of them were on me, so I felt really bad uh, to lose with like knowing that like you were the one that made the mistake.
Yeah, and Splitwood also had. I think he had an amazing series. Actually, both junglers. I wanted to shout out also to Newt because I do think he had an amazing series. There were a couple things that the spec for Titans did that in the middle of the fight he just went all the way around. But overall, I think Newt was spectacular, and I think like a lot of people weren't giving him the props that he deserves. So I just want to give him the shout out because I think he had an amazing split, and the final C was really on point as well.
Yeah, Newton Yipsy got really undersold the entire split for how good they are. Very instrumental for how our team performed overall.
Yeah, and here, you know, Stubby got his Shogat pick, which is known. You got Kaiser, which is pretty strong in the patch. Newt was doing great all season with J4, and so a lot of comfort picks. Chinese Spy on the Victor Classic. Um, so you know, this game was as I was expecting to be, like very close to be like on the minimal details, and I think it was exactly as people were predicting in terms of how close this game like these two teams are. Because I think
Yeah, how close the series could be was
yeah,
demonstrated in this game for sure. Because it really could have gone either way with just a couple different plays. Yeah, that dragon fight was unfortunate. We got so split up with me having the Ornn and Ori versus everyone else up on the top side. I think it happened the next fight too.
ooh,
Yeah, we figured MF was going to be a priority going into the series because her ult is just so strong. But
this
yeah,
was
it's
on patch 312 or 311.
yeah, this was on 312.
12.
This was the day before the patch.
Okay,
Or was it no, 2 days before the patch? Yeah, but it was 312.
but yeah, Outrage. I think he also did a lot of work, like being that front line by himself. He was taking a lot of damage. I would like to see what's his mitigated damage because he was taking a lot. So did Stubby. Like I think Stubby ate like the MF ult a few times, like the whole duration, and he still survived. So
Yeah, it brought him really low. I think late game it was completely shredding him, but yeah, early on he could tank it.
yeah, once Ceriolus comes in, it's pretty annoying. But yeah, these fights look really close. 16 to 15. Only now that the Dino's getting the 2K gold lead, I think mainly because of the objectives.
But no, they had a small gold lead earlier too. We were down like 2k gold most of this early game.
But it's fairly even overall though.
Oh yeah, even though we were down gold, we were still like getting good fights. So every game was every fight was pretty close.
Yeah, here it's one Drake for each team. Um, they have one turret more than you guys. They have all tier ones. You guys have mid and top tier one. They're still pretty even for this state of game. 28 minutes.
I was so sad. I flashed over trying to get Vision to ult, and I lost Vision twice.
Oh, this is a nice one. Ooh, that's a lovely
Yeah, Oriana got a lot of good.
ultimate there by Oriana.
Oh,
Oh,
this is River's pentakill. Yeah.
that was a good play by River. Like this penta was actually pretty clean. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, he definitely would have died to the J4, but he got the kill off before the ult went off. He played it very well with his positioning and everything. We just weren't able to get on top of him.
Oh, I remember this one. This was also pretty nice play by you.
Yipsy
Very
set that up.
clutch.
All I had to do was hit them.
Wasn't a penta, but we'll take quadra kills too.
Yeah. I did not see Oriana's ult there, and I should have flashed it and didn't.
Yeah, I feel like that. I think maybe that I would call that as the play of this
That's
game.
definitely the play where we lost because we lost both inhibitors off of that play.
Yeah, I was gonna say that you guys lost the bow inhibitors, and I think you also lost Baron on top of it.
Uh,
Or was the Baron the next play?
yes. It might have been the next play, but I know they got the inhibitors off of that, which is what really set us behind on tempo.
But yeah, I feel like you could have gone either way because you guys just needed one thing. Like if you guys taken, for example, the MF, then probably you'd be able to have the chance to win this game. But unfortunately, I mean, unfortunately for you, but unfortunately for Dino, they found you and they capitalized on it. So very good by them.
Yeah, that was a good Tarek stun to get me with Rivert follow up. Just clipped me on the edge as I tried to kite down.
Now
And LeBlanc is a nuisance. That champion's disgusting. I'm glad they nerfed it.
this game actually I wanted I'm glad that you accepted to come here because I wanted to ask you a little bit about this draft. I don't particularly like to blame too much on draft, um, but in this case here, I mean I don't feel like Maokai is an extremely early game champion as opposed to what Jarvan wants to do in the game. So I feel like when you guys get Maokai and Soul, it may be difficult to do that 2v2 between me and the jungle because LeBlanc pairs really well with Lee J4, anything that is Jin Zhao, anything that's strong early game. Because they punish Chinese by a lot in this game, as we are seeing. So I wanted to ask like where that decision or the idea of coming with Maokai and Asol came from.
Well, we had been doing pretty good on Maokai for the most of the season, so we wanted to need another champion that had been performing well on. In order to try and answer the MF better, like to interrupt it since the J4 could only do it with the flag and drag. So that was our thought process when picking it. I don't remember why we picked a soul. I think it was because they had banned the Victor, and it was another scaling champ. We because we knew, and we also didn't think they were going to play LeBlanc.
Yeah, because I'm not showing, but Nakamura went with the what's it called? Yeah, the static shift build before the nerfs. So that is a very strong strong build for LeBlanc, especially the early game. I think it boosts a lot. Um, her stats that people don't pay too much attention. You don't expect it in LeBlanc to be auto attacking you, right? And I think when she finishes one or two items to build Shiv, she has like 80 or 180 or something like that. But overall, yeah, it looks really characteristic from you guys. You guys always trying to get the scaling mid for Chinese, which isn't bad. I just wanted to know like that. One thing, the other thing that I wanted to ask is I don't know Stubby too much, so I don't know if Shen is one of his power picks or like if he's known to have a Shen. I just felt like he wasn't as impactful on this game as he were in games 1 and 3, for example. It kind of felt like the Shen pick didn't do much. So I wanted to know more about that if you're okay.
Uh, we had picked it so we could play more around bot side in order to like try and like snowball a lead. I know we had pulled it off one. I think we pulled it off one time to get a kill, but we just were too far behind on the rest of the map in order to really show the Shen off.
Gotcha.
Like if we weren't so far behind, it would have looked a lot better. But yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah, because I felt like this was probably your best game. And it is not to flame you or anything, but I feel like uh, obviously both you guys, you and Revert are the best AD carries of this split, right? For Divinity League. So obviously everyone was expected to see like good stuff coming from both of you, which there was like really good team fights from both of you on the game one. Game two, I felt like you had the strongest uh, laning phase out of the three games, and because you were dominating, you were ahead on CS, you were taking kills, you were winning the 2v2s. Um, so seeing that you're so big on that Varus, but the other side of the map kind of struggle a little bit. Kind
Oh,
of.
I looked. River lived with 5 HP there.
Oh, this was so sad to watch.
Oh yeah, he just full ulted me down. Yeah, yeah. Lucian Melia still a strong combo, even though it's been nerfed quite a bit.
Oh, Mila is just strong champion. Like I don't know about that champion, man. He gives you range, shield, heals. He does everything.
I
So,
will say I am really glad we managed to get Newt on a Viego game because he wanted to play it all season. And
oh
he did really good this game.
yeah,
We just
amazing.
we just couldn't close it out.
Ooh, nice play by Outrage. Yeah, I mean, again, Newt, who was spectacular this series. Um, this Viego like was popping off really crazy in the early game. This play was actually mad funny. I guess they thought she was gonna die in the 80, but she didn't. She
Y-
just bought another like 10, 50 seconds.
Yeah, it was definitely they thought that the kill was there, so they started walking away, and then he just bought time.
Yeah, ooh, this was lovely. Nice combo, shut down. Ooh, Tubers Gaming. And he's just so strong, man.
Yeah, we picked the Annie in order to pair specifically with the Viego.
Ooh, nice. Interesting. Ooh, that was a nice pick.
Yeah, we had actually called that. We said he's going to go aggressive here, so I walked forward. He did, and then we punished it.
Dude, Gwen is an absurd. Look at that.
Yeah, went kind of gross.
Ooh, beautiful hook by the trash. But yeah, it does look like the Gwen was a pretty nasty thing to deal with because very often you guys had to send like 3 to 4 men to deal with her before the actual fight. And I
Yeah, what?
just hate to deal with Gwen. He's just
Yeah, once Wing gets ahead and it gets later on into the game, it is so hard to deal with it because you have to send multiple people. But with the Gwen is immune, it
yeah.
becomes very difficult with ranged champions.
Gwen is immune. She just pentakills everybody. Ooh, nice combo. Dude, she still got the kill?
Yeah, she healed up a ton.
Damn.
Yeah, like we had the potential of dealing with the Gwen as long as like we could properly rotate and play fights, but
Yeah, and they have a lot of life too. They have the Gwen, the Swain that just heals up and does a lot of AoE. They got the Maokai. So they have a lot of annoying things to deal with. It's pretty difficult to play against this comp.
yeah, Dino had a lot of really good drafts and they played really well too. They made this game super difficult, like the entire series. Hey, no, there's no shame in losing to Dino. They're a great
Oh yeah,
team.
for sure. I mean, you guys both made it to finals. Dino, they were just they were playing really really good. Their quarters and their semis. So watching this, I mean, again, it's a bit surprising considering that you know you guys were also playing extremely well for like quarters and semifinals. Um, but obviously there's no shame on any of it. Yeah, nice, spicy 3 games. Sadly, I wish could have been a bit more so we can get to see more of you guys.
Yeah, I would have liked to have seen a few more games too.
Where is this? Oh, so now I'm gonna try to do something a bit different. Um, what I wanted to ask you is I was gonna choose whatever guest that I have to so we can talk a little bit about it. So I wanted to ask you, in your opinion, watching this again and having, experienced the what's called those games on Monday. For you, what do you think the players of each game would be and valiant effort? I wanted to talk a little bit more about that because it was a bit difficult in searching for a few games. For example, for me, on the game one, I would think that it would be a mix between either Split Grid or Revered. I think both of them were extremely important for the win. Revered popping off on the team fights, getting the pentakill, and Split Grid just making sure that their lanes were ahead and getting advantage, getting Drake's objectives. So I wanted to ask you for game one, what do you think it's the player of the game, the best person of that game?
um, I mean, I feel like in game one, only because most of the team was all about facilitating the misfortune, you have to give it the River for game one,
Okay.
right? Because everything about the Janna and the Ivan is all about setting up your carry. The Oriana, like while is a control mage and can do well on her own, is a bit more supportive. And then with the Ornn, so everything was on River that he good that game. He did, so I'd give it the River.
Okay, okay. And from the Fever side, who do you think was the best player for that game? Uh, so the valiant effort. Who do you think deserves to get it?
Yipsy, because he found every fight that we won.
Oh, nice, interesting. Uh, okay, for game two, who do you think it's going to be the player of the game for game two? I don't.
Uh,
Yep, go ahead.
you can go first. You can go first.
I'm in doubt between either the J4 or the what's it called?
LeBlanc.
LeBlanc. Yes, LeBlanc. It was just truly amazing what Nakamura did on that game.
I'd probably give it the split breed because without Swiffer's intervention, I don't think Spy would have lost the lane the way that he had. Not saying that Penelope didn't play well, but I think Splitbrain was just all over the map and where he needed to be.
Yeah, that's where was my thoughts too. I thought like the impact that he did on the map itself was tremendous. Um, and he was there to punish, Chinese spy on every opportunity that he had. And then Penelope was also, you know, she managed to get also like a couple solo queues, which was already good. And then Splitbridge just like sealed the deal, putting that ace out to never skill in the game.
And
Um,
on
yep.
Fever side for this game, I don't know. Probably Stubby, maybe Newt. That one's a lot harder to call.
Yeah, game two is a tough one. I did feel that y- for me, you would be my selection for that game too because you were probably, the one person in that had the chance to actually turn the tables. Um,
So I'll agree I had the chance to turn the tables, but I also got caught up the most this game out of any of the games. That's the only reason I wouldn't give it to me.
that is true. But yeah, it's a very difficult decision. Uh, but yeah, for game three, what would you think the player of the game would be?
For game three, I would give it the outrage. For Dino. Uh, once he got ahead, like kept the pressure up, made it super hard for us to rotate and play around it. Um, and ultimately won the game with that, just leaving the fight and finishing off the towers and the Nexus. And then for Fever, I'd have to give it to Newt. He carried the early game so hard with that Viego.
Yeah, I agree. Same outrage, and I think I think they were clutch on their own way. Newt was impressive on that Viego, and outrage he did what a Garen does. He just carried that game out because everywhere else I felt like pretty even given the circumstances. But the Gwen made a huge impact on that game. That's 100% sure.
Yeah, I think if it was a different champ, maybe we still had a chance, but Gwen's kind of a different beast.
Yeah. Um. All right. So definitely gonna keep this in mind. I will be releasing the final player of the series on tomorrow or by Sunday at most, and we'll be reaching out to whoever is the winner of our award, which right now before going to finals is was between Yukiro and Splitbrid. So the
Yeah,
grand
just don't
final.
give you just don't give play the series to split tree so I can win something, right?
It's kind of hard. He did a lot of work, so.
No. It was all River and Outreach. Split Breed wasn't there. Don't even look at him.
But once we post on our Twitter and I'll also post on Titans, um, I'll reach out to everyone to the winner, and we're gonna be discussing about when we're gonna get that award out there. We are checking a couple of things about the cost to make it, to actually get the physical thing in hands, and I'm really excited to when we actually get the final product, so we can actually send it out, and I think it's gonna be wholesome. So I hope whoever wins, either you or Split, enjoys because it's gonna open path for you know do some try to do something better for fall split where we're gonna have all the teams again. We're gonna bring it up a new sort of a podcast. I want to try improve what we did here, and hopefully we can engage more the community because this split was incredible.
Oh yeah, it was an incredibly competitive split. There were a couple teams that looked like front runners in the beginning. A couple teams that had great upset plays that made it throughout the season. There definitely could have been a couple teams that could have won and made it to finals. That wasn't us and Dino. So incredibly fun split to play.
Oh yeah, and one thing that I'm really excited about the the next split for fall is I want to see how many of the teams come back, right? How many of the teams move to maybe conquer if it's the same is gonna still the same. I want to see how the teams will be formed. If we're gonna see more of the players that we saw. I want to do like a whole new tier list again. I want to see how that's gonna shape out. Like, because now with us trying to show the plays from everybody, I want to like make sure that everybody has their 5 minutes of recognition. Make sure that you say, hey, you know, you know what to expect. These are the top picks of the league. These are the people to look for. Um, so that's something that I'm really excited about for next split, and I'm also looking to bring a couple new ideas. I will test them out in the next month or so to see how we can implement. But yeah, man, I'm really excited to bring a second run for the next split, and just have some fun, have some laughs, bring more people here, talk about it, watch the plays, and hopefully we can see you again here as well, depending on whatever you wanted to do.
I mean, yeah, if depending on how the ranks all play out, it will really determine who we see back from like which teams. I'm sure a lot of teams will be different and But we'll have a couple cores that are the same, so it'll be fun. You can keep some storylines going.
Oh yeah, it would totally be awesome. Let's see. There's one more thing that I want to talk about, I think. Try to see. Oh yeah. Just so just to finalize a couple things. Um, so yeah. Again, I want to appreciate everybody that came. I want to appreciate Kiora for coming in to take part. For everything you did in the league, in the split, all the teams that joined. I believe Sam said this was the biggest split of Titans ever. It was, amazing. It was like one of the funniest moments that I had with League and competitively. So I hope everybody enjoyed this as well. And again, just looking forward for the next split after everybody take your break, enjoy a little bit of summer, have your rank reset. Hopefully, you will get the rank you want, and hopefully we can have more plays. So with that being said, we'll be releasing all the information out of Twitter. You guys, if anyone is interested in sharing our Discord, just do underscore Discord. You know, get our links, reach out. We're pretty much everywhere. I'm everywhere, so I'm always online. And we're just gonna try to bring more and more content, and hopefully we can start engaging more the community. So that's what I'm trying to do, and I just wish everybody a good night. And Kiora, thanks for coming. If you have any other thoughts, any other comments to share, just feel free to say so.
Uh, Thanks for inviting me on for the final episode, and thanks for running this entire thing. It was super fun to listen to and participate in, and I look forward to seeing you in fall.
Sounds good. Much appreciated. You definitely will see ETS come back. I don't know about myself. I don't think I'm eligible to come back, but I'll be definitely be watching and hosting the podcast for sure. I'll definitely be there in that sense. With that being said, thanks again, everybody. I wish you guys a good night. This is a short one since we only have one game that was a 3-0 for Dino. So congratulations to Dynasty Obsidian. We wish them good luck in the future. Hopefully we can watch them again. And same for Cure and Fever. If Conduit comes back with a different team, whoever's on the team, good luck for them. And we'll catch you guys next time, and we'll continue to stream on Saturdays our ET New Moon, playing on Reason for Rampage, so Gold League on Reason. So if you want to see more ET, tomorrow is the day, 7 p.m. Eastern. We'll be there, and anyone who wants to reach out to help us with content, just reach out to me. We have plenty of plans for the future. With that being said, good night, guys. I wish you guys a good weekend, and also for next weekend, happy 4th of July. So take it easy and peace out.